Good morning, everybody. Lee circles. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And pink circles. And reverse. And reverse. and reverse. And good. Okay, you can put away your sticks. Kevin, is my voice clear? Can you hear me clearly? I'll have to adjust the computer itself later today. Okay. Head turns. And center. And right ear up. And relax, and left ear up. And relax, and right ear again. And relax, and left ear again. And relax back to center. Cross the hands on the chest. Raise the chin. And relax and drop the chin to the chest. Tuck it in and raise the back of the neck. And relax. Cross the hands on the chest again. Raise the chin. And relax. Drop the chin to the chest. Tuck it in and raise the back of the neck. And relax back to center. Head rolls. And down to center and reverse. And down to center and back up. Forward spinal wave. And good. And the qua. And bicycle the qua. And reverse. And good. Abdominal rolls. And reverse. And good. The windmill. Okay. And good. And squats, starting on the left leg. And then the right leg. left leg again. And the right leg again. And prayer position. Okay, hands on the knees. Up slowly and keep your head down a minute. Okay, on Tuesday we started the Fang Zhong Gong series, the relaxation series. And we started with the first half of the first move, which is called cleansing the body and recharging the danqians. We did the cleansing the body part. Today I'm going to show you the recharging the danqians part. But let's go ahead and do the cleansing the body part. So this is what we're doing there is very, very classic Qigong. It's slow, it's meditative, paying attention to your insides and your chi. Um, but what we started with is also Qigong. Qigong is on a spectrum, and it goes from the most yin to the most yang. The first half hour of what we were doing was Qigong. It's just kind of yang Qigong. Now we're doing some yin Qigong. Especially when you do yin Qigong, you need to get into the mood, which means you need to use your imagination when you do this. What you will find as time goes on is what you think is imagination is actually perception. But at the beginning, you want to use your imagination. If you're not sure what your chi is, well, just feel inside your body. Huh? Can you feel a wave going through the body? Well,
Yeah.
of course you can. That's your chi. Huh? When you come all the way down to the ground, watch my fingers. I'm going to pretend this is the ground, right? I come all the way down to the ground. As I near the ground, my fingers lengthen a little bit. They lengthen a little bit. I'm dripping chi off the end of my fingers. It's coming down and out of the body into the ground. Little things like that make a big difference.
One of the things I do is feel the magnetic pull of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked Master Feng. Well, he got asked every workshop we ever did. He got asked this question: "What is qi?" And his answer was, "Well, qi is um, partly bioelectric, and it's partly magnetic, and it's partly a whole bunch of things that we really don't understand." Um, Obviously, you wouldn't be here without chi. Chi is literally your life energy. But um, here, try this. Take your right eye and look at your left eye. Not, don't use a mirror. Just take your right eye and look at your left eye. Well, of course you can't. You can in your imagination,
Yeah.
right? But you can't physically do it without a mirror. And yet, you've always got two eyes, and yet they can't see each other. It's sort of the same thing. Of course, there's chi. This is the water you swim in. But fish in the water don't see the water. Right? So you have to become aware of this. Genevieve has a good story. Genevieve, share your story.
About the music and sharp.
No, no, about that. About
Which one?
the
Kevin,
one
turn your sound down.
about using your imagination to
Oh
find.
my gosh, yeah. Um, so I first started studying with Malcolm and Annie in 2021 when I was in like active distress. I was on medical leave from work and I couldn't cope with all the pain that I had. And I was just like Malcolm just described, like I didn't believe in anything. I didn't believe in chi, I didn't believe in flow. What's this wave he's talking about? Um, and luckily I'm stubborn SOB, so I kept coming to class. And eventually I tuned into Ms. Annie's imagination because when we're lucky, Ms. Annie reveals something that she's visualizing that day. So the example that Malcolm just gave about chi like dripping from your fingers, that's one of the ones that hit me first, where I was like, oh, it could be like a liquid, like I could be swimming in it and then it could be inside my body. And I love to swim. So I think that like caught on for me. Um, and the really funny thing now looking back is that I was blocked on my imagination for everything. So like for my work and my artistic work and my career work, I had nothing. I had zero in 2021. But once I started using my imagination for Qigong, like all of a sudden I not only developed my Qigong, but my real creativity for the rest of my life as well came back. So I love thinking about Qigong as exercise for your imagination. And it gets you over that like faith gap.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I always start this discussion by talking about what it was like for me in the first couple of years working with Master Zhang. he would talk about the dantian, or he'd talk about your qi, and all of us Americans would sort of look at each other and go, all right, we've heard of qi, we don't know about dantian, but now he's explained it, it's down here under your navel. But is it really real? And the Chinese folks were doing the same thing. Now, for them, that's a cultural thing. They grow up with all that stuff. But there's a difference between kind of understanding it as words and understanding it in your body. So they were also going, well, is that real? What made us believe it was real is Master Zhang could do things and nobody could figure out how he did them. And so it was like, well, all right, we'll take him on faith, so to speak, exactly the word that Genevieve just used. And Master Zhang would always say, use your imagination. Just if you don't feel it, just imagine that you feel it. All right? Do you feel momentum going through your body?
Yes.
That's the first thing you can grab onto. And just pay attention to it. And you begin to realize that imagination, think about the word. It means to image. Well, what are you imaging? Well, you're making something up out of what? Out of your subconscious, which is in touch with your body. So.
And 90% of you.
90% of you is unconscious. So what starts as just this sort of vague imagination, you keep following it, keep paying attention to it. And after a while you start to go, this is real. This is actually real. All right. So right now, I don't know whether you can see. Can you see the end of my fingers? Can you see how red and puffy they are? That's because I've relaxed myself so much doing this that, of course, the blood is really flowing through my body, including my extremities. And blood and qi are very closely related. Right? So follow your imagination and work with it, and it will pay you back. All right, the next half of this first move is charging the dantians. Now, according to some Taoist scriptures, you have 144,000 dantians in your body. But we basically pay attention to 3 of them, and that's enough to keep me busy.
Yeah.
The dantian is right below your navel.
You need some fresh sticky tape.
I need some fresh sticky tape, but this is good enough, all right? The lower dantian is at the root chakra, and the upper dantian is your third eye. All right? So what we're going to do is recharge each of those dantians. Normally, when you're doing Qigong or Tai Chi, you really just focus on this. It's not that the others are not involved, they are involved, but this is so much the main focus. But in this move here, we're going to treat the upper dantian, the middle dantian, and the lower dantian as 3 separate individual dantians, and we're going to recharge them. Normally, when you bring qi into the body, you might bring it in through the upper dantian, through the third eye, but you always lower it to the dantian. Not this time. This time you're going to bring qi into the third eye, into the upper dantian, and you're going to flood the brain with it. And you're just going to leave it there. So you're just recharging. You can think of it as recharging the brain with light. I often work with images of light. When you're gathering light into the mind, into the brain, well, what color is it? What temperature is it?
It has a definite temperature.
What's its pressure? Pressure actually means a lot to me. I notice the pressure every time I do this. So if I reach out and gather and breathe in, I don't like to come up really close to my face because I feel like a pressure building. I don't want that pressure. I don't need that pressure, right? All I need is a free flow of chi. So I'm probably 12 or 14 inches away, right? Just bring it into the point where your eyes start to feel that pressure, and then just relax. And again, this is such a slow, simple move that it's very easy to synchronize the breathing with this, and the synchronizing the breathing will turbocharge this. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And you just kind of stay in neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And every time you gather and breathe it into the brain, just let it flood the brain and kind of recharging and leave it there. The one other detail I should have mentioned earlier, when you do this exercise, or in fact any of the exercises, you don't want to keep your weight evenly distributed and just your lower body just sort of dead on the ground. You always want to be shifting your weight back and forth. And
It's always pulsing.
It's like a pulse, right? Just like your breathing is a pulse. So the idea is what you're doing is synchronizing all these different pulses in the body. There's a very simple pattern to doing this. Right? When you're reaching up and gathering, you're on your right leg. Right? Maybe 70, 80% of my weight is on the right. And then, right, as you're breathing out and you're sinking, you go to the left leg. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Left leg. That kind of simple, you can simplify it as saying, when you're coming up, you're on the right leg. When you're going down, you're on the left leg. When you're breathing in, you're on the right leg. Usually, when you're breathing out, you're on the left leg. And it's not mechanical, but roughly it's kind of that pattern. So that will keep your upper and lower body moving all at the same time.
It's like having a superpower. You can move your chi anywhere it needs to be.
It is a superpower.
It is a superpower.
It's a superpower. We're becoming super people. Okay, the center dantian is the dantian. Right? And again, we're just going to reach out and gather chi and breathe it in and then relax. Right leg, breathe in. Left leg, breathe out. Right leg, breathe in. Left leg, breathe out. And remember, when you breathe in, you contract the abdomen just a little bit. Breathe in, and then relax when you breathe out. And then the lower dantian. Gather yin qi from earth, breathe it into the perineum, and just leave it there and breathe out. Left leg to go down, right leg to come up, left leg to settle in. So we'll do a little closing thing here in a second. When I used to watch Grandmaster Feng do these exercises, and I'll see if I can find a video where he does this, his breathing was very deep. Have you ever seen a video of a bullfrog kind of blowing themselves up and then they reduce and then they blow up and they reduce? That's really what he looked like. So when he was breathing in, right, so one of the things this is about is oxygenating the body. So you are breathing in deeply, and then you just kind of rest for a moment and let the oxygen, let the cooking happen, and the oxygen and the chi move out to every part of the body. And then exhale. All right? So in comes the good chi. Out goes the bad chi. Okay, let's do Doling. And touch the earth. And close your pores. Salute our masters and salute your classmates. Thank you, everyone. Guys, have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.